Told you.
See,
Where
look at
that
this.
power cut.
Look at the power.
We're gonna call on you now for sure. Read it up this way.
Sure.
Well, you don't even need
You
it.
get that, I get a schedule to go down there and look at it. I'd like to go back down again because I had to leave. I couldn't stay on that thing.
How's the next? Probably the next couple of days, because he is gonna be out for several weeks.
Yeah,
Service
yeah.
The service has trials starting Monday.
Okay.
So I just didn't get around to calling today. If you wanna go and,
Okay.
so I'll see what she says or whatever.
All right.
Does he want to look at it today, I wonder?
It would have to be later in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, we have that other meeting this afternoon, so
And I
that's
can
how,
go today, but maybe tomorrow.
I think unless it's late. All right.
On your way home?
Yeah, I don't know how long that'll take.
Oh my goodness. You're in the wrong seat for this. Of course.
Yes.
Before the door closed today.
Yeah, sorry, Greg. I'll be sitting over there.
You're really that sorry?
All right. Thank you. Right in front of you, aid you a little bit.
Okay. Now call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, the Pledge of Allegiance. O Lord, giver of life and source of our freedom, we thank you for the many blessings you have given our community. We invite your presence in our meeting. We know that it is from your goodness that we have received all we have. Gracious and loving God, we understand you call us to be the stewards and the caretakers of our community. Help us to serve in that role. Amen.
Amen.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held October 21st, 2021.
Motion approved.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Do you want to wait a second, if you don't mind?
Oh, no, okay.
Sir.
Yeah, Jerry Hoare, spelled H-O-A-R-E, from Jim Thorpe. For clarification, at the last meeting, a vote was taken to purchase the school, the old school or administration building up on 410 Center Avenue. But Commissioner Lukasevich voted for a lot of renovations. Commissioner Notstein voted yes, but only for renovations as needed. And Commissioner Arner voted no. So my question for me is, how do we move forward, and are renovations going to be done as needed, or are we going to do all the renovations that were estimated by the oil company?
Yeah, Jerry.
Part of it, anyway. the first
Yeah,
question.
Jerry,
That's the
let's if we can clarify, and again, I thought it was explained well in the meetings and afterwards. The county did not vote for renovations, right? The county, the Board of Commissioners voted to make an offer, a final offer for purchase. It did not include any renovations. It included the building as is and as clarified by the feasibility study and the report attachments.
Understood. But now how do we move forward? When the purchase is completed, do we do all those renovations, or are we going to just do renovations as needed?
Well, the first consideration is understanding what we're gonna do courthouse project-wise. That's gonna impact how that space is utilized. And that's a study that is ongoing. I think, Rocky, we talked about, we have one more consultant
Well,
we
we
have to bring in for the courthouse, is that correct?
I think we wanna look at it, and I think, you could say there was like two different options, and I think with our discussion that we had yesterday, I'm not positive that the school would work into play. It could if it would go the other way, but I myself is leaning towards renovating the courthouse and steps. That way we wouldn't have to move people out. But if the whole courthouse would be moved out, then we could use the school. But that would not be the direction I would want to go, because there's a lot in it. You have to move everybody. There's all them expenses, and when you look at it, if it's 15 or 20% more to renovate, what is it going to cost us to move everybody up and disrupt the courts? So that's something that's in discussion now. But
As we said or last week, I should say that, I had great concerns with the cost of renovations and would not support a lot of renovations. They are right, we did meet with the judges yesterday in court administration, because we have so many moving parts in this puzzle, and should we, and I don't wanna move out of the courthouse, and it is so inconvenient to move the offices even on a temporary, not just inconvenient, but, is it practical? There's only one suitable room for a jury trial. We still have issues with jury selection, parking lot, etc. So there's still a lot of moving parts. Yes, the offer has been made to the school district, but I was hoping to talk about this a little bit further under further business today.
Okay, and my last question is, we have a contractor working on our house, and he's from Jim Thorpe as well, and when I told him I was coming here this morning, he asked, why does Children and Youth Services need office space when most of their work is, the nature of their work is done on the road and visiting people in their homes, and can't the paperwork be filed electronically by computer from home?
Would you like to take that, Mr. DeVito?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have some things on the agenda today, or an item on the agenda for the memorandum of understanding, or for the children and youth, because of the issues we've been having. And maybe Mr. DeVito, who is our solicitor for the children and youth, could better explain that process for you and why it's important to keep there, if you can, if you will.
Sure, at least briefly. So to understand children and youth, there are about 30 employees, right? You have anywhere from 10 to 15 caseworkers who are doing the social work. You have their supervisors. You have the legal department, which is myself and 2 paralegals. You have fiscal. There are a lot of very intricate moving parts that require constant contact and communication. So just for a few examples, anytime a caseworker has to go to court, it happens quite frequently. It seems I'm in court almost every day. I need to meet with caseworkers and their supervisors. We need to prep the cases. The caseworkers need to meet with their supervisors and the administrators to get approval for especially more difficult or complex decisions. There needs to be meetings between the social work side and the fiscal side to reimburse foster parents, to pay adoption subsidies. Those are just a few examples. There are a ton of them. But the idea that most of the children and youth work happens on the road is not the case. There's a tremendous amount of court paperwork, prep work, just papers, financial things. So there's a lot of reason that the agency needs physical space where the different departments can interact together.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that is part of the reason we've had so many issues with the NERO in the Northeast Regional Office and the Department of Health there, is that, the meticulous paperwork, they have to do their reports. Those reports are reviewed by 2 or 3 other people, and there were a lot of findings, just minor little mistakes. I know in our last inspection, they couldn't find something right away. They were citing us for it, but we had to be there here it is, right here and there, this is what we did. So, yeah, we talked about that, and we talked about virtual, et cetera, and it's just one of those offices that they have a lot of questions. They get a call, they have a client come in, our solicitor or paralegals are there to assist them in making their decisions. It's not like, they're at home, and it's just not good to be doing this stuff over phone. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Jerry, I'd also say there's much more context to this. There's the PD's office, the DA, the sheriff's office. There are holistic space needs and requirements. So it's not just about children and youth services. Now, that's our number one priority, but we're trying to look at it holistically and not simply for today, but well into the future.
Okay. Any other guests concerning county business? Okay.
Hi, I'm Jean Pepe, Register of Wills. So I'm here today because I want to talk about my huge disappointment in the Harvey County Commissioner's website on Facebook. There was a posting on there in reference to our financials, and it got out into social media. So I need to know what we're doing going forward. From my understanding, it's a sitting commissioner who posted it on social media. What I'm talking about is our checking account information for our general fund. Got posted on social media. So I did some research, made some calls, spoke to a lot of people in reference to this. 2 people have access to our website, or I don't know how you say it, on Facebook. The IT department has it. They stated they made the correction when they got the phone call. And Chris Lukasavage is the other one who has access to it.
Can you be more specific what you're referring to? Was it a canceled check?
No, it's a check that was given to Lansford with all our information on it. Our routing number, checking account number,
Okay.
and signatures of
Okay.
everybody.
Okay.
You posted that on Facebook.
Okay.
You jeopardized our county's financials.
Okay.
Okay? So now going forward, I need to know what we're gonna do as a county to make sure this never happens again. Second of all, is this checking account closed?
I was prepared to take this up under the treasurer's report as an item.
Very
Okay, because I don't want to get into a lot of back and forth. And for me to explain it would be in excess of the public comments policy. So I'd rather discuss it at length under my report. But in answer to her question at this point, no, the account has not been closed, but we have contacted Mock Chunk Trust Company.
Good.
And I guess the question, does it jeopardize our financial system with that information being made public, even though it was a short period of time from what we gather, less than 24 hours or about 24 hours?
I have a copy. We have fraud going rampant this whole entire country. I have a copy. How many other people have a copy of our checking account information? This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace that our county has been jeopardized for fraud. I think something needs to be done, because if an employee did this, what would you do as sitting commissioners? If you saw an employee post our information, what would you do?
Well, they'd be reprimanded. And I just want to go back to that. I think, to me, this Facebook and all these postings should be reviewed before put out.
We have a
And-
policy on that,
yeah,
correct?
and Facebook or live streaming can be a great thing, and here it just proved that it's a bad thing.
Very
And,
bad.
and our county could be in jeopardy of it. I mean, I think something has to be done with our policies. What are we gonna do with people when this happens? And, to me, if something like this happens, what would you do in a normal situation like that? You shut the system down and figure out what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
if you're, think about this. My purse gets stolen.
Yeah.
My credit cards are there, my checkbook's there. What do? You react instantly. Everything gets shut down. We're talking about every taxpayer's money in this county has been jeopardized. And we're not shutting it down.
Exactly,
Shut it down immediately. Because at home, you would do the same thing.
right.
Am I correct, Chris?
Well, you actually don't know what actions have or have not been
Well, he
taken.
just said
So
it
it's
hasn't been closed.
It's, I believe you're making conjecture on this.
No.
If
No,
it's
it's
a
not
serious
closed.
concern, I have total confidence in the treasurer to take those actions that are in the best interest of the county and the residents.
It needs to be closed.
Well, that'll be a decision and recommendation of the treasurer.
You jeopardize
We'll have to,
our county's financials.
as far as.
So until it's closed, I'm not gonna be sending my checks into that account. I am going to request that that be closed.
I'm sorry, when did you first notice this?
Well, I got a copy of it, so when it first got posted, I made the phone calls,
Uh-huh,
everyone was notified,
yeah,
and I had discussions with everybody.
everybody.
Well,
It
not
seems-
you, because you made the error. I'm not
Oh,
gonna,
okay.
you know you made the error, because you made the call to get it taken down off of Facebook.
Mhm.
So you already knew what you did, Chris.
So you're saying when a mistake was noticed, that individual took corrective actions. Is that what I understand? Well, thank you.
Do you have an MBA?
No, he,
Did you sit here and state you had an MBA?
yeah,
Okay,
pardon? Okay.
okay, that's what I thought.
As far as the policy, we looked at, we discussed the options with the treasurer. We understand he has already contacted the bank, and we'll look into that. As far as the policy, I think we need to expand the policy that nothing gets posted without the approval of at least 2 commissioners. And right now, you're correct, I don't wanna be involved, I'm not that savvy on Facebook and posting and all that good stuff, so, I agree, we need to tighten it up and everything, how we'll handle it yet. Let us think about it, look at the policy and how it best be handled, whether we do it in writing. Some things are a no-brainer, it should be posted right away, such as we don't have to approve them every week, et cetera, but we'll look at that, okay? So, any other guests concerning county business?
Could I address this check issue? I'm very concerned as controller, I was not here Friday, that it is a serious lapse of judgment on behalf of Commissioner Lukasevich, and I'm confident that if it was an employee, he or she probably would have been terminated. I'm also concerned, depending what the treasurer says later, if the county incurs costs to close the account, set up a new account, we're gonna bear those costs. I don't know what that's going to be, and that is something else that is of concern to me as the controller. So I think it's just very unfortunate that this happened. And concurrent with that, I think if it was me or the treasurer or another office holder, I'm confident that we would have been vilified by others in the county for doing that. And I just think it's important for the public to know that. And interestingly, I know from the National Association of Counties, October is Cyber Awareness Month. So as bad as the check being posted with the routing number, account number, all of our signatures are on the check, which is equally of concern, I know to myself as the controller. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll look at it this way, as of right now, I think it's a legal issue and we'll have to address it with the checking account and otherwise, okay? Any other guests? Last call. Hearing none, we'll move on.
Next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There were 2 executive sessions held, one on Friday, October 22nd for personnel, and Tuesday, October 22nd, 2021 for personnel reasons.
26th. October 26th,
Oh, I'm sorry, 26th. Here's 21.
10:30 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Right, I'm sorry.
Okay. Next item, department reports, the budget transfers.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 73988 through 74011, and direct deposit check numbers 6035472 through 6035916 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $684,390.80 This is the payroll dated October 22nd, 2021.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 224108 through 224264 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $721,700.97.
Move to approve.
No, second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes, so in order to address this and get everything out in the open and to have some meaningful dialogue on the subject of how we got here and how to correct things in the future. Let it be understood that the check we are referring to is check number 223995, payable to Lansford Borough in the amount of $500,000 issued last Thursday. As of this morning, that check is still outstanding. It has not been reconciled. I had a couple of questions because I am not a participant in Facebook, and some of them were answered. It was posted to the Carbon County website in the form of the actual check, from what I understand. It was posted sometime on Thursday afternoon. Not quite sure what the policy is for you guys, but you might want to consider that anything that gets posted to a county website under the name Carbon County Commissioners should be signed off by two of you. Under the acts of law, a majority makes policy, so you might want to look into that to avoid this in the future. One last question I have. I understand it has not been taken down at this point, but there was a redaction made?
There, I guess it was taken off of a.
No, they corrected it by taking off the account numbers. They still left the signatures on.
Okay, but is it still up at this point?
Not the numbers, just the check.
The check itself is still out there?
Now, you also have to understand that original post was shared two times.
Yep.
So I don't even know if the correction is made. I don't understand that part of the IT. If a correction is made, I don't know on the shared site if it's corrected or if it's still opened with the account numbers out there.
Okay, but if I were to go onto that website right now, would I see a check?
From what I understand, yes,
Without
but
the
you
numbers.
would not without the numbers.
I would strongly suggest at this point that you consider taking that out completely, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm sure this was meant as an act of transparency, but it's just not an acceptable explanation for a breach of information on social media, especially when it was this information, as it were, the $500,000. Was covered already when we went through the sale in the spring. It was an action item on last week's agenda, which was acted upon live stream, I believe. And there was discussion on it under the commissioners meeting, and even the local newspaper ran it as a headline, I believe. Now, the concerns about the check being online or on social media is it discloses our check design. It has our account designation, meaning that it specifically said it was the general fund. It had our bank name and our bank's ABA number. It had our account number. It had the facsimile signatures and titles of all three commissioners, the controller, and myself as county treasurer. The person who posted this apparently failed Cybersecurity 101, that you never put information out, bank information out on social media. In fact, they have countless pamphlets distributed telling you not to do that. So, at this point, you really don't know who's seeing it and what they might do with that information. Now, not to go headhunting, the argument could be made that a lot of this stuff is covered under the right to know. That other checks go out to countless people with the same information. and that checks do occasionally get lost in the mail, so you don't necessarily know who has access to those checks, okay? I estimate, and this is just a figure made up off the top of my head, that we probably issue about 7,500 checks in a given year. But those are known vendors. It's a tighter group, such as repeated checks to WB Mason, PP&L, election workers, and caregiver support checks for aging and children and youth make up a large percentage of that. In this case, we put our information out there to potential millions. This information could be used or collected and sold and used later on down the road. This also puts our depository, Mark Chunk Trust Company, at a certain level of risk and liability. So to that end, I had made a call into our banking rep at Mark Chunk Trust, who is conferring at this point with their deposit operations department, their audit department, and their compliance departments to review and comment and offer recommendations to me as to what to do. Needless to say, they were notified as soon as I found out about this, and they are monitoring our account specifically until we figure out what we're going to do next. They did inform me that were this a general customer, the account would have been closed. Due to the complexity of our banking relationship, they did require some time for additional review before making any recommendations, but closing the account could definitely be a possibility. This goes beyond just check falsification. Our signatures, facsimiles, and titles could be used to launch fraudulent accounts elsewhere, or even attempts at wire fraud. Okay, and just to underline how important this is, just this morning I received 2 emails from our IT department. One telling us that we have suspicious emails coming through our system, and the other one saying that we're having a network-wide antivirus scan. So Carbon County is not immune to such problems. Changing the bank accounts will require continued monitoring of the old account till all checks are clear. Let me also make this point, because as a matter of quelling any concerns, this is not the master general fund account. This is a clearing account. The only balance that's carried in there is the checks that we have issued. So it's not like the millions of dollars that we have sitting in the general fund is at risk. It's a totally separate bank account. Okay, I wanted to make that clear. The new account requires some modifications and changes to our in-house accounting software. We're aware of that. So this is not a minor issue. It is kind of a big deal that the commissioners need to make sure, at the very least, it never happens again. On a more personal level, I'm a little upset that my personal signature was put out there on social media, okay? My signature is not county property and should not have been, I should have at least been consulted that my signature was going out onto the website. I would have told you immediately to redact my signature from the check. My signature is used for much more than just county business. This being said, my personal life and those of those who I do personal business with could also be impacted. So it is a serious matter. So in summing all this up, we are addressing it. We will take advice from the bank, but it was a poorly thought out thing to do, which is creating a lot of headaches for a lot of people. Okay?
Ron, a quick question
Yes.
for you. With the moving to direct deposits and et cetera, and issuing checks, or can we help eliminate any possibility by electronic transfers on any of these accounts or checks instead of issuing checks? Could something like that have been accomplished through an electronic transfer to, let's say, in this particular case, the Lansford Borough account?
I don't believe the county software has been equipped yet to handle We generally like to do things through, and the controller can speak up on this. We generally like to do things through the voucher system, and the paper check is a better proof of payment. We try to avoid, if we can, people reaching in through ACH into our bank accounts. The account in question is strictly a clearing account. When you approve the bills, you're also approving the transfers into that account. In a perfect world, that account, when all checks come back, ends up being zero. So that any of our direct deposits that come from federal or state agencies goes into the general fund money market account, so those things aren't affected. What you're talking about, Wayne, would be getting into repetitive payments where we avoid the check issuance altogether. At this point, I don't believe we're set up for that.
But is it possible though?
I believe it would be possible. I mean, other counties have done it, yes.
And if it would reduce our risk, you know, then
Yeah.
we'll have to look into it further.
Yeah.
And back to the Facebook thing, I don't have a Facebook account. And I think if somebody wants to look at what I do, they're more than welcome to put it on their Facebook and people can talk about everything and see the good that I do. But I think this one that the county has, people are telling me that things are posted on there that I don't agree with, you know? And that's a personal thing that's posted on there. You know, one of the things, even if it, and I don't know what's posted on it because I haven't looked at it, because I think everybody knows I'm against the school sale. But if you put on the Carbon County Commissioners just bought the school, now it looks like Rocky Horner likes it. So I would like all the information that's truthful on there or documented. Like this Facebook page is out of control, you know, and how do things get on the Facebook page without us three agreeing to it? I mean, and I tell you what, this thing makes our county look bad. I mean, and you're saying this could be stolen, that could be stolen. What do our vendors think when they see things like this? It affects everybody. You know, it just isn't us. You know, and when I looked at this before, when this was presented to me, that's when that gentleman gave us the $10,000 for, you know, for the dog shelter. And I was thinking it was that, and I'm thinking like, oh God, okay, we can get a hold of them and tell him this is it. If we'd have to pay for a new account, wipe his account out, trace it over, you know, exchange it over. But this is a big deal here. You know, it really is. And I would be in agreement just to shut the Facebook page down until we have, I know if there's a law that you gotta have it, then as of today, I think somebody else would be managing it. That's one of our IT people, and then you sign off on things.
So the control of the Facebook page or whatever is strictly under the commissioner's domain.
Right, exactly.
My recommendation as the county treasurer is I'm going to be looking to safeguard the money that is presently in that account, taking advice from Mock Chunk Trust. And that's really where my authority ends. But I would highly recommend that this information not be put out in the manner it was in the future. Because although a lot of it might be technically right to know, we just put it out to a lot of unknown people that really did not have a need to access that information except for fraudulent means. So, in order to protect ourselves, we should keep our information to a smaller universe of people. Okay?
Let me say this before you talk. I'm not happy about it either, but I think today, as soon as we're done with the meeting, I think we all would agree that post itself has to come off of Facebook.
I would strongly recommend that.
We will do that immediately. The second thing, it alarms me with what you said, had it been a customer's checking account, they would have closed it immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned with that. Maybe we should,
Is that-
we need to get together
If
after
that's
this
the
meeting
if that's the
today.
direction the commissioners wish to go, I'm certainly not opposed to it, and I will direct the trust company to start immediately.
Would that be your recommendation? I don't wanna put you on the spot.
Well, I think you said you
Well,
wanna wait till the trust company-
I was waiting for our bank
Right.
to weigh in
Yeah.
as well, and as soon as I get a response from them, I will converse with all
I
three.
think that would be a good idea, because as the treasurer said,
It's
different parts.
Yeah, it's a very complex system, and
For their recommendation.
I mean, if we were dealing with a national, nationwide bank or a very large regional, I would be very concerned, and I'd say shut it down immediately, because a city bank would not be able to monitor our particular account as closely as a small community bank. So I think Mauch Trust Company in the short term has our back, but again, I want them to weigh in on the long-term circumstances, because I do believe they're probably gonna say, just to be on the safe side, close the account. Now, that doesn't mean the account's gonna be closed because we have all the outstanding checks. It just means that we're not gonna be using it in the future.
I would make a motion that we have closed that account immediately.
His recommendation was.
My recommendation is to wait to hear from the bank.
Well, yeah,
Right.
And if need, solicitor, we could make that decision and just ratify that at next week's meeting.
Yeah, it would be an emergency.
Because that would be a depository issue, which would require the three commissioners and myself to be in agreement.
Today, as to why we are doing it, it's not like we're going to behind.
So if we have to do it and that's the direction we go, we'll take that action and we'll ratify it next
Right.
week.
But what happens if something happens on Monday?
No,
It's
they're
just,
monitoring.
okay,
No,
they're monitoring.
They're,
All
they're
right.
watching it now, and
Okay.
I'm hoping to have an answer. I mean, this moved pretty quickly. So
Okay.
I'm hoping to have an answer from them today, because they had to meet with a couple different departments.
Okay.
And we'll take action based on what the bank recommends. And whatever action we take, we will do immediately and ratify it next week.
All right, so I'll go ahead, thank you, Ron, for your input as the treasurer. And I do understand the seriousness of this, and I do accept responsibility for any error in judgment. That's not a problem whatsoever. I do feel a disappointment in myself, Ronnie, also on a personal level with the signatures, regardless of the desire to continue to push for transparency. And you hit upon a very good point. There's a difference between right to know and need to know. And that has to be considered in any dissemination of county information. I agree that review of the social media policy is absolutely important, and it should be a holistic approach to ensuring that that which is posted, and I'm pretty confident this is the only problematic post that I have seen on there, again, from my assessment. And that,
I think at times though, posts are put on there by whoever that implies that what Mr. Arner was saying implies all three commissioners. And maybe, and exactly right in this case where he is opposed to that, but when two vote for it and one doesn't, it looks like we're all on board.
right, and I think that's part of it, you know, having that check and balance pushed into that. So that's all I have at this time. Again,
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, we have a,
And I'll be in touch with the commissioners as soon as the bank's in touch with me.
Yeah.
okay.
Next item is the personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
second,
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
yes,
Mr. Notstein?
Yes,
The acknowledgement for courts and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
second,
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes.
Correspondence, copies will be made available upon request by press. CCT Lanta for approval and execution, the 2021-2022 first quarter MATP report as submitted to the Department of Human Services as prepared by Lanta.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The correctional facility, the inmate telephone system. For approval and execution, an amendment to the agreement with Global Telelink Corporation of Falls Church, Virginia for inmate telephone services. The amendment implements the FCC mandated rates, charges, fees, and other requirements effective October 26, 2021. The commission payable on each billable ITS shall be 0. Was previously 2 cents per minute.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Juvenile Court for approval and execution and award and funding in the amount of $69,300 for the fiscal year 2021-2022 Juvenile Probation Services Grant for salary reimbursement of the Juvenile Court Office for the term of July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Penn State Extension for approval and execution, a memorandum of understanding with the Pennsylvania State University for the funding of the Penn State Extension Office and services in the Carbon County and the 4-H Youth Development Educator. The MOU specifically outlines the services of each party, office space, and clerical staff person. This is a 2-year agreement, January 1, 2022 through December 31st, 2023. Funding for year 2022 is set at $76,568. The 2023 allocation will be adjusted by an amount not to exceed the average increase in the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, Philadelphia, Camden, and Wilmington.
Move to approve and execute with the addition of the word educator in paragraph 3 after the word development.
Second.
After, yeah, I'll second
Yeah,
that.
just said educator, so
Okay.
that's the person.
I'll second that.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Planning and Development for approval and execution. Revision number 2 for the direct financial assistance, business assistance, CDBG CV fiscal year 2020 reallocation of funds to move $247.10 from the direct financial assistance, business assistance to homeless facilities, family promise, hotel cost.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. Agency on Aging for approval and execution, an addendum to the lease agreement between the county and Supreme Properties Incorporated for the leasing of space at Bear Creek Plaza, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, for use as Penn Kidder Senior Center site. The addendum allows the lease agreement with Supreme Properties Incorporated to be assigned to Bear Creek Plaza Holdings LLC due to the property being sold. All terms and conditions of the agreement will remain the same.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Children and Youth for approval and execution, a settlement agreement between the county and Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, Office of Children, Youth, and Families for the purpose of resolving an administrative appeal filed by the county on behalf of Carbon County Children and Youth Services Office. Upon execution, the department will issue a regular license, and the agreement will remain in effect for 18 months from the effective date of the agreement.
Motion to approve and execute on discussion.
Second.
I don't know if the attorney wants to explain anything more about what you started with. Maybe I have like something afterwards, or if you want me to say it before. But within this contract that we have, I mean, I'm looking at that we're supposed to analyze space, current staffing, and space accommodations, and develop a plan to ensure adequate workspace and technology accommodations with permanent employees. Currently, we have 30 days to do this, to try to get a plan together. I mean, we've been meeting, in fact, we met yesterday with the judges again, we're trying to figure this out, and I just don't see a plan. I don't see a plan that's here. And I want to go back to the St. Luke's building, and I think previous, like how this was advertised again, that the building was a 1920 building, that millions of dollars had to be used to renovate it. It looks bad on that side. But if you look at the other sides, it's a 1930 building that was renovated in 1984, and yearly improvements with approximately 8,000 square feet of current usable space. It paints a different picture that way. So going back to what is on Facebook, let's look at what the reality is here. And some of these projects, and if the projects would move forward, they're not going to be done for 2 years. Right now is what we have to do with children and youth. Let's take care of it and let's get something done here. Because I think next year, well, we have 4 people that need a seat right now. We're trying to finagle around here, maybe in some of the empty spaces we can put them. But till next year, probably till April to June, we're going to be in the process of hiring 9 more people. That's 13 people we have to find a seat for. That's not going to wait until 2024.
I'd like to add a little bit to that. Those empty spaces you referred to, everyone else is looking for those empty spaces as well.
Exactly, but they can wait. In our, right here's the,
Half dozen offices, and, you know.
you did read the agreement from the state. Okay, well, I did read it.
Well, yes, I did.
And if we don't do that, we will be getting our license back. If we don't accommodate to them, then we won't get it. Then we'll be back in the same boat we were.
Exactly, and it's not only on the space issue and the plans. If anything else occurs in that time, we could lose that license at any given time for any, hopefully not minor infraction, serious. So, anything you'd like to add, Mr. DeVito?
Well, just very briefly, to the space issue, I will say that children and youth, we have 2 case aides who have a chair and a desk in a hallway, and you have to walk around the desk to not crash into it when you move down the hallway. The supervisors and the management team have their meetings in a child visit room that has Barbie dolls and slides, so the need for space is real. But I would say that this settlement agreement, we intentionally made it so that the permanent space solution was not required within 30 or 90 days. We only have to begin to implement a plan for adequate space within 90 days, and the bare minimum of that is basically that we have some kind of a conference room where we can have meetings with more than a couple of people. So we let the state know, and they agreed that it's not feasible, nor is it within the agency's control, to have the space issue permanently settled in that short time frame.
So then it's okay to have 9 little desks and 9 child chairs for the future? No, I'm just asking. I mean, this is a problem that started 20 years ago, and we're trying to get this department back to where it should be. And I think we're throwing a lot of this, the renovation, the courthouse, the whole 9 yards into this. This is not about the renovations of any of these buildings. It's getting children and youth an adequate space to work. That's it. That's the only thing that we have to focus on right now. These projects that we're working on, we can talk about the courthouse, we can talk about the school for a year. But right now, I look in this letter, and they could come back anytime. When we did our negotiations or whatever we did, their talks with them the last 3 months, their biggest thing was providing adequate space and hiring 9 more people, another group to this. So what I'm looking at, this will never get done. We're just signing a signature on a paper and sending it to them.
Well, their number one thing was the safety of the children, bottom line. But nonetheless, at 1:30 this afternoon, and Commissioner Arner, it may have a lapse here, we are walking the Director of Children and Youth Services through available county space in the 44 building, which will surely meet some interim needs and show progress as necessary in accordance with the agreement.
And we're going back to a temporary thing again. I want to see a permanent thing done for this.
Today, what we need today, ratify the agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, Commissioner Arner, January 6th of 2019 or 2020, excuse me, there was a call for a complete pause of any construction and renovations in order to develop a holistic space plan. Do you know who didn't support that motion? Right, look in the mirror.
I'm
Look
not
in the
gonna-
mirror.
I'm not gonna argue about anything.
Well, there's
from
nothing
the
to
past.
argue about, it's in the
Move
minutes.
on. Any further discussion, Mr. DeVito?
I would just distinguish that I think both Commissioners Arner and Lukasevich make good and separate points, that there is a long-term need for adequate space and a permanent solution, but to be in compliance with this agreement, a temporary solution. I understand long-term that doesn't solve all of our problems, but it keeps us in compliance with this contract. That's all I would distinguish. Thank
I
you.
want to thank Attorney DeVito and the other attorney that we returned, I can't think of the name now, that.
Attorney Sanders, Paul Sanders.
Paul Sanders, thank you. We're working on this settlement agreement with the Department of Health. I know we had meetings with the Heffley, DCHAC, the commissioners, the state, the local regional office, and it's been a long time coming, a lot of back and forth, but we finally made it to this point, and it was crunch time. We had to do something before the end of this month. And this is what we could come up with, and they agreed on, so we'll move forward.
Call for the vote. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Parks and Recreation for approval, an agreement with Lori Knox of Jim Thorpe for operation of the boat rental concession at Mock Chunk Lake Park. Term of the agreement shall be April 1, 2022 to March 31, 2024. The annual rental is $4,628 plus $80 per month for the period of May through September. $400 total for electric. There is no change in the rental payment from the previous agreement.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Proclamation for adoption, a proclamation recognizing November as Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Yeah, move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and quickly read the proclamation. Whereas epilepsy is a neurological condition sometimes referred to as a seizure disorder and is characterized by recurring seizures in 1 in 26 people, which will develop epilepsy in their lifetime. And whereas more than 209,000 Pennsylvanians live with epilepsy or seizure disorder, and whereas up to 50,000 Americans each year die from seizures and related causes, including sudden unexplained death in epilepsy. Whereas the Epilepsy Foundation Eastern Pennsylvania leads the fight to stop seizures, find a cure, and overcome the challenges created by epilepsy, the foundation is dedicated to ensuring that all people with seizures and epilepsy are able to participate in all of life's experiences. Whereas state funding in PA currently supports programs that provide technical assistance, training, and support to PA schools, nurses, teachers, and students on seizure recognition and first aid. Whereas state funding also supports programs providing patient education and public awareness information and referral services for children and their families. Whereas the Commonwealth has historically supported the creation and expansion of epilepsy support services and awareness programs through federal and state appropriations. Therefore, the Commissioners of Carbon County hereby recognize November 2021 as Epilepsy Awareness Month in the County of Carbon.
Resolution for adoption and execution, a resolution acknowledging Carbon County as a host municipality for St. Luke's care entities and facilities as part of issuance of bonds by St. Luke's Health Systems to finance the cost of such facilities. It being understood that such approval shall not directly or indirectly obligate the taxing power of Carbon County or otherwise obligate Carbon County in any way whatsoever on these bonds.
Motion adopt and execute.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax assessment for approval and payment. Communication received from the Tax Assessment Bureau verifying following taxpayers are due a refund of Carbon County real estate tax. The first one is in Mahoney Township, John and Susan Schneider. The reason for the first refund is due to a decrease in assessment based on findings on an appeal. The total refund due of county taxes is $237.83.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Second one is in Mahoning Township, Wallace and Patricia Berger. Again, the reason for the refund is a decrease in assessment as a result of an appeal of their assessment, and the total refund of county taxes is $17.81.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax claim for approval. Communication received from Tax Claim Bureau recommending the county accept the quote received from Paramount Abstract of Jim Thorpe to perform the required lien searches for the 2021 upset tax sale overbids for distribution. Proposed 22 searches at the price of $50 per search. Paramount was the sole quote received.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Also in tax claim for approval, a communication received from the Tax Claim Bureau recommending the county accept the quote received from Paramount Abstract of Jim Thorpe to perform required title searches for the 2022 judicial sale, approximately 106 searches, at the price of $160 per search, which is an increase of $10. Paramount Abstract was the sole quote received.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business?
Yeah, under further business, I'd like to bring up the same issue. We have talked about, I think, the last 2-3 weeks in a row concerning elections and the workers, poll workers. Bowmanstown still needs one, Lansford needs one, Palmerton needs two, and Penn Forest needs one. I was watching the news this morning, we aren't the only county, I think Luzerne County, it was on WNEP this morning, is in dire need and jeopardizing, the way I understood it, it is jeopardizing their election because of the lack of workers. So they are putting a plea out for everyone on the news this morning. Had I known that was coming, I certainly would have plugged Marvin right behind them there. I don't care, I don't wanna be on the news, but at least put our name there, we need you too, so. Okay, other further business, again, bring up this school district thing. You know, it is impossible, I agree with Rocky 100%, we cannot wait till the, school is ready, courthouse issues are resolved, et cetera. We need to move on that, and, with all those moving parts, and that construction didn't even, our cost was not even including the additional, space possibly in the courtroom or in the gymnasium area. So, at this time, I mean, I really between a rock hard and a hard place at this particular time. We need to move first on children and youth and worry about the court system later. They're just gonna have to deal with it, and with the understanding that with us moving them, it frees us of more space for additional offices in the upstairs of the 76 building. And also, if we were to move the public defender into 44, that means we still have to find room for planning and development. If we move the paralegal and the solicitor into 44, you know, that's another office. Workforce has to find another place, and they've already been told that. You know, we just have to move on. We have to do with what we have right now. So at this time, I'm going to make a motion to withdraw our offer to the school district.
I'll second that.
I think we first should make then a motion to reconsider, put it on the table to reconsider the motion that was made last week.
To get it on the agenda, because it's more than a de minimis motion, so we need to add it to the agenda or a motion.
Well, yeah, well, you had a motion that was approved, so
Yeah.
now to bring that motion up again, you have to make a motion to reconsider that motion. And I guess in that motion, you
Right.
can make a motion to amend the agenda as well. So,
Okay, I'll make that motion as corrected.
So, let's see, we know
Same motion to amend.
what, let's see, Johnson Controls, you can see the name. Let me just see if I can find Might have been the week before.
Amy says 2 weeks.
Yes, I would,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I would feel after, but I'm gonna move
Yeah,
forward.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, time.
Recess. So, anything else on the further business while we're waiting? Can we do commissioner's report while we're waiting?
I said pretty much already. I'm done. But I do want to actually, the attorney left and I said, I really have to commend them for what they did for us. I mean, we wouldn't have never been able to get to the point of where children and youth is heading without them. No way.
One of the leaders in the team
Yeah.
that are overseeing all the cases and files and everything with other caseworkers on, what's the title of people, they sit and they are reviewing every case, looking for mistakes and trying to correct things before the state comes in for their inspections. And they'll be in, and one of the other things that I want to point out, we will be meeting monthly. It was one of the demands of the agreement, is that we meet monthly with children and youth. And I think we've been doing that for a long already, but they feel that the county commissioners have not been taking it seriously in the children and youth. And I can tell you that this board and the previous board have been dealing with this issue for at least 4 years, maybe 5, 6 years already. It goes back a ways, and some of the problems are fixed. We're getting better at it, so we are moving right along. So, anything different or?
Are we doing,
or
can we,
going back?
can we move? I don't think we can go
No,
past the
no,
agenda item
no,
yet.
no.
Normally.
Stay,
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
stay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll wait.
We don't wanna confuse it any more than we.
No.
all right.
You get the right ones.
So I would think the appropriate motion then would be, first of all, to reconsider item 21501 from the meeting of October 14th, 2021. And also as part of that, to amend the agenda as advertised for this meeting today.
What was the item number again?
21501.
Okay.
So the motion has to be,
First of
What Dan had said.
yeah.
what,
So moved.
What Dan said.
Who's gonna so
the
move?
guy that treats, try to keep us out of trouble, so.
I'll second what Dan said.
Yeah, the wording.
Okay.
So the motion is simply at this point whether to reconsider that motion and also whether to amend the agenda today for the reconsideration of that
Motion
motion.
to consider that motion.
Reconsider.
Previous motion 21501, and put it on the agenda for next week.
Amend the agenda
Amend
for
the
today,
agenda for
for
today.
consideration of this motion.
Isn't that two separate motions?
Yeah,
So, but
we
why
have
don't
to
we do the
vote.
first one, to reconsider, then we'll bring it back
Well,
up.
I think what we have to do is probably do the motion to amend the agenda first.
Okay.
So would be a motion to amend the agenda as advertised for today's meeting, to include a motion to reconsider item 21501 of October 14, 2021.
Move to modify today's agenda to include, motion to reconsideration, for 21501.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Okay, so then the second motion, if I understand it, is a motion to reconsider item 21501 of the meeting of October 14th, 2021, in regard to a letter of intent on the Jim Thorpe School District Center Street property.
So move to reconsider.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Okay, so then the next motion is to guess, the next motion would be to add to today's agenda whether to provide a notification to the Jim Thorpe School District to withdraw the county's letter of intent to purchase the property at 410 Center Avenue, Jim Thorpe, as submitted to the district.
Motion to withdraw.
No, motion to amend the agenda.
Oh, amend the agenda. Now we-
Second.
Are we gonna get away with 6 of them? I don't know.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Okay, and I think this is your motion, but you can tell me if this is your motion, then, is to notify the Jim Thorpe School District that the county is withdrawing its offer and letter of intent to purchase the property at 410 Center Avenue in Jim Thorpe.
Correct.
Motion to withdraw.
That would be my motion. since
Okay,
it's-
okay,
I
okay.
signed the letter, so.
Okay. Second.
Okay. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. No more discussion, let's move on.
Okay, commissioners' reports. Mr. Arner?
I'm done.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yeah, I will make one comment in regards to proposed land development along the Lentz Trail north of Mock Chunk Lake Park. In the September Planning Commission meeting, the Borough of Jim Thorpe submitted for review a development plan on 4 lots. The concern with that property development is potential septic system, sewage system is within 1/2 mile of Mock Chunk Reservoir and Mock Chunk Lake and Mock Chunk Creek. And I simply raise this as an issue of awareness for the public because of the concern with any possible impact that could have, the development could have on the watershed and the drinking supply of water, recreational activities at Mock Chunk Lake Park and those associated with Mock Chunk Creek, which flows from the Mock Chunk Lake. I would also say, unless safeguards can be taken to protect that the Board of Commissioners at some point should review our guidelines, which really fall under the Carbon County Comprehensive Plan, and take a position on if we support or not support development along the Lentz Trail. And there was correspondence provided by our Planning Commission. It's something we have to, again, weigh and consider.
Was that the one where the road was an issue, or what, was it gonna be shared? Wasn't there shared by 2 properties,
And
or?
remember, they also want to buy a little strip of land from
Yes,
us on that,
yes,
and
yes.
then Ivan Mikesel sent us
Yes.
issue of, I call it a note of concern. Now, it's really a borough issue, but again, it impacts Mock Chunk Lake Park, so we have to be cognizant.
But we are, the park is already on that, part of it, not the whole thing, unfortunately. Old Launch B is not. Years ago, we had a grinder pumps put in, et cetera, and we do pump into the system already, so, like you say, it's more of a borough issue and not a county issue.
Well,
The way I'm
when you have a
understanding it.
septic system that fails,
Fails,
it becomes a
yeah,
Mock Chunk.
Yeah, because it is.
Issue, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
It could affect us.
It could affect us, and again, as Mr. Mikesel said, we need to take a close look at that. Obviously, under planning, we only make recommendations, to the borough, but again, since it does impact Mock Chunk Lake Park.
Because it isn't that would affect our sewer, but the impact is
On
considered
the
on
water source.
Is on the water source.
Yeah,
We have
and then,
problems every time we get the heavy rains.
Right.
With the water runoff for us,
Yeah.
just from wildlife or unsanitary visitors.
all right,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you should understand,
And they don't ever have any intent of running sewer further out, or?
Well, no, and there is a line out there that the county uses, but I guess it's a low pressure system, and they couldn't tie
It's all
into low
pumps.
pressure. Yeah, so unfortunately, the gentleman and his development aren't able to tie in,
Out there.
yeah, yeah. And
Cause I
think-
didn't know, like, even up in the back there, like, you're looking even, like, is Chipmunk trailing them on, you know what I mean, like the little development in the back, are they
I
on,
think they're on sewer.
are they on,
Their grinder pumped up to Center Avenue to connect.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, nothing.
all right, that's all I have.
Just one other thing, and going back to Facebook too. From what I understand, well, 2 years ago when we ran, we put on the Facebook that I was gonna run for office and step down. But why would I spend my time and money for somebody else to become a commissioner? And now with the recent ones out there now, is the false information. I'm not gonna make it 2 years and I'm gonna step down and all this, and it's just, I just wanted to quell that rumor. It is not my intent to step down. God willing, I'll be here for 26 more months. So,
I just wanna,
3 days, 2 days.
I wanna make a statement on that.
Less, little bit more.
I would say the day before, you have to have your paperwork in, he will be running again. I've seen it too many times. I'm going with the odds.
I'm gonna sit in the back of the. Okay, Amy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you guys had a very eventful meeting today. Clarify that you have withdrawn your offer to the school district.
Well, we made the motion to
Yeah, we
withdraw.
made the motion to
Yeah.
proceed.
Okay. And in regards to the children and youth settlement, what are the full terms of that settlement?
You should have asked that.
Yeah, we can give you a copy of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get you.
Okay, once it's all signed. In the interim, I would suggest you speak with either Attorney DeVito or Jill Geisinger. They can explain that better than we can.
And what was his first name?
Frank.
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 It's, I threw it in here this morning. I thought I threw it in my packet this morning. Yeah, it's, page 13 here, document, 13 with signatures, so,
Okay.
yeah.
And when was the administrative appeal filed for that? It says, it talks about an administrative appeal on here, filed by the county on behalf of children. When was that filed?
Oh, God, you'd have to.
About 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, it was filed, by the previous board. And we have not heard anything on that appeal, and I can tell you this, that, I sit on the board of directors for CCAP, and under the solicitor's report, that comes up at every meeting. They're watching, CCAP is watching it. I know other counties, are having issues as well with, the Nero office, and, a lot of people being cited, Luzerne, Bradford, and I don't know how many others, Wayne County went through it. They took a different route than, what the others have, and from what I understand, that is not going well. So you'd have to contact them for their comments on it, but, it's a major issue, not only in Carbon County, but I'd say at least throughout northeast Pennsylvania and a lot of other counties as well.
And when you say a major issue, are you talking with the spacing and the staffing, or what exactly?
Well, I think,
I think the hiring, you get the hiring.
well, the hiring thing is, the process is, and we brought it up with the governor's office when we met with them 2 weeks ago, I guess now, as the civil service hiring system. Yeah, they want you to hire right now. As soon as you get a vacancy, well, we're below, and we had, that was one of the things we had to change the wording on. We had current staffing level was 29, and we were short one when one retires or leaves, we're down right away. But to replace those people, it might take 2 months. You have to advertise it for 14 days. You have to interview the people. They have to have, be on the civil service list. That's not always available. Just a hiring process, if that person has to give notice, that's another 2 weeks, till they can come to work. Basically, it's about a 2-month process from the time that position is created until it gets filled. And what we had talked about doing is possibly just creating additional positions, a pool of people with names that we can shorten that process. And as I can tell you, administrator, et cetera, every time we meet with the state in Nero, I complain about it all the time and have talked to Heffley about it. We talked to the governor's office about it. It's got to change. It just makes our job so much more difficult, like we don't have enough to do.
And it talks about upon execution, the department will issue a regular license. Carbon County still is licensed with children and youth, is that correct?
Provision.
Yes, we have a provisional.
Our fourth provisional,
Okay,
and that's the end. That's when we would lose the funding if we don't come up to stuff.
okay.
Or a lot of it goes from 80 to 50%.
Yeah.
So that's when you're talking about, you can have the budget numbers here in 2 years from now, but that includes renovations, it's gonna be up in $9 million.
Yeah.
Right now, it's about $6 million, and you figure 20% of that roughly is, I mean, I don't have the exact numbers, but roughly the state pays 80%, we pay 20. So if we lose 30%, we're talking a lot of money. That's why, you know, in my motion last week, and it's not working out, or 2 weeks ago, was to purchase a school, but we can't wait. And we cannot put the courtroom and children and youth in the same building, and on the same floor, period. We've got to do something else, and we gotta, hopefully, maybe by next week, we'll have a plan.
Okay. With regard to the St. Luke's bond issue, what does this exactly mean for the county? It talks about a host municipality.
You wanna, well, again, we're simply meeting an IRS requirement because the bond expenditures, those funds will take place in Carbon to include other counties.
And we're about 6 or 8 other municipalities that
Yeah.
have facilities that are gonna, where construction or updating of facilities is gonna take place. And all these municipalities, Monroe, Northampton counties and other places,
Yeah.
had to adopt a similar resolution, just acknowledging the issues that.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
Monroe did that last week, I
They had a
think they
public
did it.
hearing for everybody.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did that last week.
Okay, so it's nothing that you're not.
No.
signing with the- Okay.
No, 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 no.
And then let's go back to Facebook.
Mhm.
This is actually for the treasurer. You said that this isn't the full general fund account, but you said it's a clearing account. So how much money is in that clearing account that it was at risk there?
Well, it floats from week to week. Basically, it only houses enough money to cover the checks that are issued. So if you were to look at today's agenda, at the conclusion of this meeting, we would be transferring $721,700.97 into that account. So in a perfect world, if all the checks come back, the ending result would be zero.
Yes.
So, and again, I wanna reiterate, it's not the main general fund, it's not where our direct deposits go, it is strictly our clearing checking account for accounts payable. So, on any given, week, I would say there's probably a couple $100,000 in there, but not, millions of dollars. Because, let's face it, people don't hang on to checks too long, they deposit them.
Yeah.
This account has turnover pretty quickly. And I was just talking with the controller, we have to find out more about how we go about changing the account number on our software as well, so.
And Ron, I just a question on it. Now, in that account, is there direct deposits for that, or is it all just
No,
checks?
our direct deposits from like the state and federal governments would all flow into the, what you see on your treasurer's report as the SP Now account.
Okay.
If you looked under the treasurer's report, there are 2 accounts under the general fund. There's the SP Now account and there's the SP Now checking. The checking account always shows a balance on the treasurer's report of the year-to-date interest. Because again, in a perfect world, it would go down to
right,
zero.
yes.
Your main general fund into which monies such as the register of wills, clerk of courts, recorder of deeds, monies flowing into the county general fund always go into the SP Now account. That is our holding account. And then based on what the bills are concerning the general fund, that's how much money gets moved from there into the checking.
I mean, is it a good idea to have direct deposit to the vendors, or is that not an option? Or is that a bad idea?
Well, that would be one, of course, that Mark would have to weigh in, because
Okay.
he is more on the expenditure accounting side of the county. I would believe that it would be quite an undertaking to get it set up.
Okay.
And you also have to look into the legality under the county code, because the county code says we have to pay by generating a voucher. So it wouldn't be like we could tell PP&L just to reach in and take the money.
Okay.
He would have to have something to audit in order to do it.
Okay, in regards to, from what I gathered, IT has access to post, and it doesn't sound like all three of you have access to post on the Facebook page.
Correct.
So is it just
Right.
commissioners?
Yep.
Okay. And then just one last question I have in regards, actually two. When was the check routing number photo actually taken off and redacted?
That
Not
same-
exactly, it was the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It was
it
the
was
next,
So it would have been Friday,
it was Friday.
because the
Put on-
post went up Thursday
Yeah.
after commissioner meeting.
Yeah, and then it was pulled down, then it was redacted, if I understand the,
That's my understanding.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't recall, I don't
Yeah.
know offhand, and
Yeah.
what happened was we got a phone call in the office here from someone. That's all we found out.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of our office staff took care of it immediately, put it back to Nick.
And may I just have a copy of the epilepsy awareness month?
You want it emailed to your,
Oh,
here,
I don't
you
know
can,
whatever's
you can
fine.
have that one.
Thank you.
I have it anyway.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Dominic? Kelly?
Well, that was a long meeting, it's 5:30.
One day I need to be enslaved to this.